think it happened for a reason.
Lovely. So I am going to hit the record button and we are live in the group and we are so grateful to have parents in here. Thank you for joining us. Today's masterclass is on a topic that's really close to my heart. And it's a topic that took me a lot of courage to come out there and put it out there because it's a very personal journey for me. I felt that I would be judged for thinking of parenting in this way, that that it was woo-woo stuff. Did you feel that, Tina? Did you kind of feel that this might be woo-woo at all?
No, because I've never been in a situation where it's been like a little too weird. Actually, if I probably was, I would probably just leave uncomfortable because I usually know a little about something before I would join it.
Spot on, which is why I believe we will attract parents to watch this kind of a video because they are ready. And because this is their journey, it's everyone's got their own parenting journey. This is mine. And I think it just gives the audience in this group, it's a beautiful time when we start to share that what we are doing here is really allowing you to access a higher self that you have access to and you have always have had access to, but we cannot access something that we don't know. Does that make sense?
Yes, because sometimes you have to ask.
Sometimes we have to ask. That's right. Because when we are, we find when we seek. But would we look for something we didn't even know that was there?
No.
Which is what this awareness is about. Parenting from your higher self gives you an opportunity to see what is available so you can seek and you can access. And today I am sharing my journey of how I came to recognize that and what the pain was, because we are led by pain and pain is our greatest growth driver. So I've had experiences in my life that allowed me to experience parenting on this level. We're getting some feedback. We'll also
that was me just because I put on my
Kate. Kate is my assistant here in the group, and she is here to support you, Tina, and she's here to support all the other parents that will be joining this live as well. So I'm just making sure I can see all the comments and I can see the number of viewers jumping on. Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. We've got lots of viewers in the group, in our private group as well. Thank you for joining us today. There's a link if you want to jump into the Zoom, because I get to see your chats here. I will also get to see the comments on the Facebook, but I'll get my gorgeous Kate to put the link in this live, so parents who are watching it can jump into the Zoom room if they choose. Otherwise, we're happy to just proceed with you on the live, and you're most welcome to join us from our Facebook Live. For those who will be watching this later, welcome to you too. Do share with us what your journey is around parenting and what brings you here. What is it that you're seeking that has brought you here? Because that is gold. It's that seeking which allows us to find, which is what we were saying just before. If we aren't, the seeking is what allows us to access what we are curious about. So my favorite word is curious. You'll hear me use this a lot. I'm always curious, and I invite you to be curious about what else is out there, curious about what is our child showing up, where is this challenge that our child is showing up within us coming from. So I'm going to jump onto share screen and just going to open up the masterclass that I've got ready for you, because I love to have a screen that keeps me on track. So just sharing a few slides, so that keeps me on. So parenting from a higher place, that's what we are here for. I am a single parent. I often find that I work with a lot of single parents, and a lot of parents that join me on these Zooms and in the group are also single parents. However, this is for everyone. I just find sometimes single parents need more support, which they don't have, which is why we seek something greater than ourselves. I do find that I work with a lot of parents with kids with special needs who have conditions, and the reason is not that other parents don't need it, but it's because it's parents that that have that many more challenges that need it, and we have resources to support them. So today we're talking on one of my favorite topics, and that is parenting from your higher space. I'm going to share a little bit about my story, and stories are so important. So as I share my story, I invite you to think about what your story might be and where you might be on your journey. So that's me 10 years ago. And my journey was, my everyday life was busy, constantly exhausted, very drained out energetically. And as a result of it, I didn't have enough time. I didn't have control over my emotions. And I found that I felt unsupported. I didn't feel it like I had any clarity. And this was a big one for me. Nothing that I did, no matter how much I push myself, no matter how much I went past what I would ordinarily do, it just didn't feel good enough. So as I share this with you, those who are watching, beautiful Tina, tell me, where are you at? Can you resonate with any of these? Does it feel chaotic?
Beyond chaotic, very overwhelming.
Overwhelming, beautiful word. That's right. Overwhelming. Just feel that overwhelm. It is a lot. And we could really do with support beyond ourselves, because in our humanness, it is a tough gig. Are you a single mom, Tina?
Yes.
Yeah. And 3 kids?
Yes.
Yeah. So completely get you, beautiful. You're in the right spot. Well done.
Thank you.
So going with the story today, which is why I'm taking you 10 years now. So don't feel like, oh, I need to be there. This was a 10-year journey. And my goal, because I've already been through it, is that you don't need to, which is why I'm sharing this today. Doesn't need to take 10 years for you. It is all about awareness, and that is what we're doing today, is awareness. So what I experience today is free from emotional triggers. I am very rarely triggered. And when I do get triggered, it no longer concerns me. In fact, it excites me, because to me, emotional triggers are nothing but allowing me greater awareness of my personal self. It gives me awareness of what I need to question, where I need to become more curious. Because I parent in this way, which I will share with you how we got there, is my kids start to feel safe, and giving our kids safety to express their emotions is a safe space for our kids. We can give them a good home, we can put food on their table, but really where they're needing us to really step up is to feel safe to express their emotions, because when they do, that's where connection happens, connection with us, their parent, and connection within themselves. And that allows them to feel confident, feel trust. So greater trust and confidence is built from that space. I feel safe to express my own thoughts and feelings. I trust myself, I trust my kids. So what I'm sharing with you here is that what is possible with this work. We are all emotionally resilient, and emotional resilience is a beautiful gift to give our kids. So tell us about, what would you like, Tina? What would you like for yourself?
Calm, happiness, calm, and just a feeling of peace, just a feeling of
That you've got
calm.
things under control?
Security. Yeah.
Yeah. Security, you said? What kind of security?
Just an overall life, like knowing that my kids are okay, that I don't have to worry about everything every day, because I'm worried about things with the school, the IEP process, additional stuff that I shouldn't be worried about.
That you'd rather have peace around those areas.
Yes.
Yeah. Lovely. So I'll keep going and we keep asking questions along the way. So feel free to put in the chat box, feel free to unmute yourself and ask me questions if there's any way that you find you're not getting it. Yeah. Lovely. And the same with everyone watching within the group, put in the comment section and tell us if you have questions, and I will very happily respond to you. So what is parenting from a higher space, and why is it so crucial to our success and to our role as a parent? So what it is the ability to respond to challenging experience with calmness and clarity. Like Tina mentioned before, I would like peace. And peace comes from the ability to respond, because challenges are always going to be there. Our kids were created to challenge us. Our kids were created to push our buttons, and our kids will always do that. It's the time they stop being challenging is because we have addressed what buttons they are pushing within us. The trigger lies within us. So in order to stop being challenged, or in order to no longer feel, because our kids will always challenge us. My kids might still be challenging me, but what is a challenge? A challenge is a perception. It is what I choose. I choose to be challenged. When I no longer choose to be challenged, that's when they stop challenging me. So can you see how we can take back control and take back power when we recognize the choices that we have? Awareness of our triggers within ourselves is key. Awareness is key. When we are aware of these triggers that we have inside of ourselves, that we are projecting to our kids, that the kids are pushing our buttons, which I'm not saying they are not. But what I'm asking you to be aware of the fact that the trigger lies within you. When we are parenting, or what it is to parent from our higher self, is about responding and not reacting to their challenging behavior. So there is a difference between responding and reacting. When we are reacting to their challenging behavior, it is being driven by those triggers that we feel. When we are responding, it's a three-stage process here, which I'm really not going to cover in today's thing, but it is a three-stage. I won't cover it in detail, but I'll tell you briefly. This responding, the difference between responding and reacting, is a three-stage process, which involves holding space for what's coming up within us, becoming aware of the emotions that this child's behavior is bringing up for us. And from that space, we choose to respond, taking responsibility for what's our stuff and what is theirs. A very powerful stand to have. It is a stand from which our kids cannot not listen to us, because we are truly standing in our power then, because we are no longer responding from our own undealt with anger. We are no longer responding from our own undealt with lack of trust in ourselves, or this I'm not good enough part of us. Wonderful. We are seeing more parents come in. Welcome, Rhonda. Thank you for joining us. It's great to have you join us. What is parenting from our higher self? It is trusting in our intuition. It gives us greater confidence in our parenting. What is intuition? Intuition is a knowing. This is when we get back into our body. We're no longer in our heads. Tell me who finds yourselves in your head while you're parenting. You get angry and you feel your head just getting all upset and all of these thoughts. Why are you challenging me? Can you just not listen? Can you see when we're in our head, we're projecting outwards? Do we have control of what's outside of us? Tina, do you want to share with me? Do you have that experience?
I participated in a conference the last couple of days. It was for ADHD parents, and it was just saying how sometimes when you feel it's being done to you, like your child is doing something to you, they're not actually doing it to you, but it's just you taking it as a trigger, either from something, if you grew up and that's how you were raised, and if you're viewing something as disrespectful and your child isn't, and it sets something off within you.
Beautiful. So it's perfect for you to be here today. So can you see the power of our own perception as parents? And I also want you to understand that it's perfectly okay that up to now, that's what you thought. Often as parents, we want to go into judgment. Why did I make it all about me? Why didn't I understand them in a better way? Why wasn't I a better parent? Stop. Stop it. It's not doing us any favors when we think thoughts that are disempowering, is what I call. First step is to be completely okay with where you're at. There is a reason why you thought this way. It could possibly be, and most likely is, it's the way society has modeled us to respond to situations. Our first goal, our ego, we all have an ego. We come here with ego. Our ego wants to make it about the other person because that way that's how we protect ourselves. So parenting from a higher place is about recognizing where we take responsibility for our own actions and how to, with kindness and compassion. If you're making note of anything today, is kindness and compassion. And the first spot where we have more kindness and compassion is with ourselves. Give me a thumbs up if you get this. Those who are watching, give me a thumbs up. Tell me if you get it, and if you are going to make kindness and compassion a number one focus from this point onwards, and kindness and compassion towards yourself. Put it in the comment section. Tell me if kindness and compassion is so important on this journey of being able to even access our higher self. We must practice kindness and compassion with ourselves. Watch that inner thought. Watch the language that is saying to us that we are not good enough. Catch it, nip it in the bud. It is not kindness and compassion. It's not going to support us to parent our kids from the higher self that we are choosing to. And as we do this, we get to address not just the core innermost needs of our child, but it also allows us to powerfully address the core innermost needs within ourselves. As in our parenting experiences with our child, there is so much being said, especially when our kids grow into teenagers. There are so many hurts and stories that we come in with, that we need, that when we are reacting from the action and the behavior, and not even being able to tune in to what the innermost need is. The innermost need, if you're able to see what is this child really asking us for, could be just to have kindness and compassion towards them, that they are having a hard time. With parents that I work with special needs, once I get them to see and tune into what that child's core innermost need is, that even though they were rejecting the behavior, even though they were portraying themselves to be disrespectful to the parent, really what they were saying, what the parent could, when they go through this process and they start to tune into the core innermost need, they have tears in their eyes. They said, oh my God, Yolanda, all my child was saying to me was, I am struggling. I cannot cope with all of this change. I cannot cope. I'm feeling judged. I just need connection. I just want to be loved. And it can really bring us to tears, but today is the time, as we give ourselves greater love and connection, as we address our own core need. What is it that we're really seeking? Are we seeking respect? Are we seeking to feel supported? And often we're projecting that on our kids and on our young kids and on kids who are not capable to meet our needs. So being tuned into our own innermost need allows us to parent from that higher space. I hope this is making sense, guys. If it isn't at any point, unmute yourself, share it with me. Hello, Rhonda. Do you want to jump on and say hello? We would love to see you. If you want to put your camera on and say hello to us, we would love to see you and connect with you and support you. So I can see that you're not muted. So please put your camera on or share with us where are you from? How old are your kids? Beautiful Tina is from Massachusetts, and she's got three kids, and I'm sure they're beautiful kids. I haven't seen the photo yet, but I'm very confident that she wouldn't be here if she didn't feel like she wanted to be that best mom for her beautiful, gorgeous kids. So I'm going to keep going. Yes, and it allows us to live in our power. And when we are living in our power, when we are claiming our own higher self and parenting from this energy, our kids jump on. Our kids want to be. So we want to lead by example. We want to lead without our own limiting beliefs, because then we become those true leaders. That's when our kids want to be our disciples. That's when they become, or they jump into forming new disciplines. And that is where we want our kids to jump on board with us, not from force, not from fear, but from wanting to be our disciples, because we are in our power, because we trust ourselves, because we feel a level of confidence that gives us the ease and brings back fun and joy in our parenting. Wonderful. I'm just having a look at the comments coming through. Thank you to all of you. Lovely. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Love that all of you have joined us today. Thank you so much. Share with me. Are you getting value? Put in the comment section value if you are getting value from what we are sharing here today. So what is standing in your way? What do you think is standing in your way? We know the parent we want to be. Yeah, would you give me a thumbs up if you know the parent you want to be? Do you want to be, like Tina shared beautifully with us, she wants to be that kind parent. She wants to be the calm parent. She wants to feel the support. What is standing in your way from being that parent today? What do you think it is? I'm looking at the chat box. I'm looking at the comment section. I can see lots of new comments coming in. She says, yes, she wants to be happy. And what is standing in your way from being that parent that is happy, that is enjoying, that is it that you have so much to do? Are you feeling drained out? Like you shared before, overwhelm is a big reason why we don't feel connected to be able to have so much fun. How can I have fun when I'm so overwhelmed? What is really, really, really at the crux of it all? What is coming in our way? Like real estate agents say, location, location, location. That is key on our parenting journey. Emotions, emotions, emotions are key. What is coming in our way is our own emotions. What is coming in our way is our own self. What comes in our way is our lack of control of our emotions. Those anger outbursts that we have, where we are overreacting and we judge ourselves for being that, and we then tell ourselves stories of why we're not such a good parent. And when guilt comes up, tell me if this is you. Kate says she wants to be a more patient mom. What is stopping you from being that patient mom that you really want to be? What is coming in your way? What is that emotion? What it is your unresolved emotion. That is what's coming in our way. Our past experiences that hold emotion, our past stories that hold a meaning, that are disempowering. We do need to rewrite our stories, because in those old stories where we have come to recognize that we are not good enough, that we have guilt around, where we judge ourselves, there are fears, there are doubts, and there's lack of trust in ourselves, which we then project on our parenting. Why do we do it in our parenting? Is because we do it in the relationships that matter the most to us, which is really a self-sabotage pattern, and which is really sad, where we disconnect from the relationships that we need the most, where we disconnect from the joy of connection that we need the most, because we project our greatest fears, our greatest doubts, and our lack of trust on the relationships that matter the most to us. So many people living in this cycle, so many people living in this disempowered state. It is truly disempowered, but the reason why we do this is because once we experience enough of pain, we can come across, and it takes courage to face our own selves. It takes courage to look at what's really showing up for ourselves. It takes courage to say, the reason I'm having these disempowering thoughts, the reason I'm feeling not good enough, the reason why I have all this guilt is because of what's showing up inside of me. It is those unresolved emotions that you must address. It is past experiences that hold meaning, the stories that we need to rewrite. We're not going to say that we didn't have those traumatic experiences, or whatever those experiences were that you feel are still holding you back. We can dive in and rewrite, and I'll tell you how we do that. Lovely. I can see that we are, I'm going to have to jump really quickly because I want to keep this to a 30-minute presentation and masterclass. So really what it is what is your story? We need to understand our story before we can start to make sense of it. So this is my story. I am the oldest of my siblings. And as I went through life, I gave my life a story. Which brings me to where I am today. I have had my experience. I've been through the 22-year relationship, but when I look back at it, I choose to create a new experience based on the new story and the new meaning that I gave it. I'm no longer with my ex. We were 22 years together. I choose to look at it as an experience that made me who I am today. My journey with my sister, we were only 11 months apart. A lot of stuff came up for my lack of love and connection. That was a story that I had created, that my sister was born that so close to me, that I lacked, which I didn't see through my entire life. It's when I found patterns in myself, this need to be loved, this need for significance. And as I started to question, why is this driving me? And I was projecting that on my kids. I needed them to be significant. I needed them to do better. And I saw nothing but lack, is because of my own sense of lack within myself, a story that I carried from my experiences in life. And really, it sounds really simple, but it is a courageous journey that we go on to create the new experiences that we so deserve. So what is the role of conflict? Conflict is nothing but opportunity to me. When I find conflict in relationships, it opens up a bigger door of opportunity of creating a stronger relationship. It's an opportunity to address unresolved hurts. It's opportunities where we get to see what we are projecting. Conflicts bring up parts of ourselves that we need to address. It allows us self-reflection. When we see a fault in another person, when we see lack in another person, it really is an opportunity for us to self-reflect and say, what I would not see it in them if it wasn't in me. And our kids and our relationship offer us the perfect opportunity. Lovely. So this is the 5 stages that I talk about, of how we move from chaos, which many of us, like Tina mentioned before, overwhelm. That is that chaos. And this is the journey that we take. Chaos, how does it present itself? It presents itself in frustration, anger, outbursts, emotional ups and downs. The second stage of this beautiful journey, and this journey that I'm showing you guys here, is a journey that I take the parents on this group who choose to work. Of course, if you choose to work closely with me, if you allow me to guide you and support me, this is that journey which we can closely support you through. It's my 5-stage journey, and it's broken down into chaos. From chaos, we go into greater awareness. From awareness, we start to learn how we learn skills of no longer being triggered by external situations. We stop reacting and we start to respond, holding space for ourselves, which give us greater access to hold space for our kids. We get an opportunity to resolve emotional reactions because we do deep dive, and it's what I call deep dive sessions that we go into, which brings us to a point of bringing new energy into our families. It gets us to question the thoughts that no longer served us. And it gets us to access a greater inner calm where we are no longer triggered by challenging situations. We feel greater trust and confidence in ourselves, and we experience relationships on a whole new level. So I know that's a lot to take you through. It's the quickest way I could condense this journey to give parents the greatest clarity of what's involved for us to move from chaos to a state of calm, because that's what we're seeking and we need to know. So awareness of knowing, how do I get there? This is how we get there. It is an inner. If you look at it, really, we move out from external and we come back into experiencing our own inner awareness journey. We move from chaos into a greater awareness of ourselves. We come to becoming the observer, because once we are aware, we can then choose to, or we inevitably choose to not make it about ourselves anymore. What a powerful way to release and have greater control over ourselves and greater control over our kids and our challenging situations. Because from this space of being an observer, we truly are in our power, because we are no longer reacting from anger, from our ego, from lack of respect, from not being good enough. All of this is only possible from this space. So really inviting you to see your parenting journey as your innermost growth journey. So that's what I would like to cover today, guys. We're at 2 minutes past. Tell me, I'm going to allow this space for you. Tell me about, what did you find was the biggest aha moment here. So share in the comment section. I will tell you a little bit about me. So I am Yolanda Alvarez. I am the founder of Empowered Parenting. This is my calling. It is what I absolutely love to do. I meet moms and dads from all over the world. I run a group of I have a group coaching where I run groups of parents. I take them on a 12-stage journey. If any parents here are watching now or watching later, have been on this journey with me, I invite you to share with me share with those watching here what that's been like. I'll quickly share with you some parent stories. This is gorgeous Helen. She is a single mom of 2 kids, and she felt stuck, and she had all of her own situation come up for her. She's been on this journey with me, and she has transformed her life. She was able to recognize and detach from the emotions that were just flaring up inside of her, and gave her more control, which then allowed her to parent from a whole new, freer, calm, relaxed, peaceful, and joyful energy. What she says is that my life was a cycle of being, sorry. I just wanted to share with you what her experience was. Her life was a cycle of being a victim, and it is a cycle because we keep going. We think we resolved it. We think everything's okay, but really what it is we just keep cycling back into old patterns if we don't address this. So to get our power back, it is those 5 stages, and I take you on that journey on my 5-stage process, which is my 12-week emotional mastery journey. Lovely. So we do work in 2 parts where we look at strategies that we use with our kids, but simultaneously, as we're applying strategies, we cannot be applying strategies if we haven't addressed what emotions are coming up within ourselves. So it is really about win-win parenting, which is a very powerful way to parent, which is what we invite you to experience. So for those of you watching, those of you who are on this chat, you have access to book a chat with me. If you'd like to cover, it's completely free. You get me to support you with a specific problem. It's just a 30-minute chat where I offer you completely free to release yourself from a current challenge. So if you've been watching us and you've come along Use the link, it's in the comment section. We will put in the comment section here, and we will put it in the comment section even on the in the Facebook group. So you are invited to have the experience of what it is like to parent from your higher self using one specific biggest challenge, current challenge that you are facing right now. And that is my gift to you. Besides that, we have got a masterclass, a workshop that's coming up on the 24th of August. And if you're a member of this group, you will see it come up a lot. We will tag you in all of the posts that come through as well, so that you don't miss out on registering for that event. So I'm opening up for questions. We will come off this the live in the group so that I can support the parents who are in here. So thank you for joining us. To take advantage of this special offer to book